Howdy y'all, leg day. There's a split for today. So, unique to today's leg day, we're attempting to improve upon two aspects of our training that I think I've overlooked in the past, but these are scientific techniques that I learned from RP Strength. Shout out to Dr. Mike Israetel and his YouTube channel. Those two aspects being the resistance curve of an exercise. To elaborate, when you're, for example, performing a squat, the easiest part of a squat occurs when you're at the standing portion of the repetition, and then you're going, preparing to go deeper into the squat. So at the standing position, your quad muscle is shortened. So the resistance curve of a barbell squat, for example, would be easier in the shortened position. And then as you squat down and you sink your hips, your quad muscle lengthens and the exercise gets harder. So exercise gets harder as your muscles begin to stretch out. That's not the case for every exercise though. So to give an example, a seated leg extension, when the exercise is easiest, when your feet are closer to the ground and your quad muscles are being stretched out, and as you push the bar of the leg extension up, your quad muscles contract and it becomes harder. So the exercise becomes the most difficult at the contracted position of the exercise. And we're shooting to perform exercises that are the exact opposite of that, meaning they're harder at the lengthened position, not the contracted position. So y'all already know, but I'm going to try to think of a new exercise to replace leg extension, one that increases resistance in a lengthened position. The second aspect of the training that we're improving upon is choosing exercises that recruit the least amount of muscles. So for example, on a barbell bent over row, as you're bending over to perform the bent over row, you're engaging your posterior chain in order to prevent yourself from falling over, right? And then also, I think most people have been told in their lifting career that when performing a bent over row, they shouldn't be shaking back and forth and using momentum to raise a bar. Stabilizing yourself recruits a lot of muscles within your core and your posterior chain to prevent that momentum usage. So a barbell bent over row, for example, which is meant to target like mid to lower back, is also recruiting way more muscles than intended. So maybe on a leg day, this is probably not pertinent. We're going to focus on that first aspect that we discussed. But for future videos, the next chest back and the next shoulder arm day, I'll discuss when I am choosing a different exercise based off that second aspect of our training. So today's plan, we're going to another Planet Fitness in Lexington, different from the one you saw in the first one. And this one I like a lot more than the other because the gym it's a little more condensed, but they made it 2 stories. And on the second story, they have separated a lot more equipment. So, and there's a lot of the walls are glass on the second story. So you get a really nice view when performing on those machines. So y'all will get a peek at that. So we will see y'all in the gym. Alrighty. So my girlfriend Hannah's our cameraman again. So quickly before we hop into the gym though, I wanted to give you guys a quick breakdown of what we're gonna hit today. So it's gonna be the standard Wesley Visser split again, where we're gonna do calves, hamstrings, a squat, and then top it off the quads. That being said though, to hit on the 2 aspects we talked about earlier, number 1 for calves, we're gonna try to stay away from seated calf raises because there are 2 heads or 2 parts of the calf muscle, the gastrocnemius. The medial head being the inner portion and the lateral being the outside. When you are in a seated position, the lateral position, the lateral muscle or head doesn't, it's in a more relaxed position, and therefore we can't really put maximum tension on it in a stretch position. So we're shooting more for a standing calf raise. That being said though, Planet Fitness we're going to does not have a standing calf raise machine. So y'all have seen the past where we do the one-legged dumbbell calf raise. That's what we're gonna hit. Next, hamstrings. To get a stretched hamstring muscle with maximum tension, I'm thinking a prone hamstring curl compared to a seated hamstring curl, where in a seated position the most tension is again in the contracted position. So to ensure that we're hitting or maximizing tension at the length end, doing a prone version where we're flipped around. And next, squatting. There's no free weights at Planet Fitness, so probably just gonna do a hack squat, because the hack squat's gonna hit all three heads of your quad, similar to a barbell. And honestly, as we spoke about earlier, wanting to do exercises that recruit the fewest amount of stabilizing muscles, a hack squat is perfect because you're going to be seated with a back brace. So lastly, for quads, since we spoke about eliminating extensions, I'm thinking we might do a combination of Smith machine sissy squat followed by the slow eccentric leg press that y'all have seen in the past as well. So look forward to that. On to warm up.
We're doing alright. When we are apart, we always do the same dance. Always on the fence, never making sense. I'm not gonna feel a that you say. Your love is a game that I don't wanna play. So don't say you need me when I walk away. So many words but they don't mean a thing. You blur the lines between love and obscene. So don't say you need me cause we're not a thing. We're not a thing. Since we are apart, you know it's always the heart first. Don't care if it hurts, you're making it worse. I'm not gonna feel a thing tonight. Not gonna feel a thing. I'm not gonna see your face tonight. Not gonna see your face. Don't wanna hear anything that you say. Your love is a game that I don't wanna play. So cry all you want, but I still walk away. Cry all you want, but I still walk away. So many words, but you don't mean a thing. You blur the lines between love and obscene. So don't say you love me, cause it's not a thing. It's not a thing.
So we're just gonna do a real quick leg pump, or pump check, I should say. So here, I'm pointing, so from the camera view, I'm pointing my toes at a 45-degree angle, and that's where you're gonna see the quad sweep, so the outer regions of your quads here. And then when I am shirtless, right, what we're looking for is the X frame. So where my lats come down to my waist, right, and then the quads push out to form the X frame that I've spoke about in the past. So rather than doing the normal posing session, we're just gonna look at the leg pump. So here, this is post leg day / cardio pump, and then lastly, we'll do a side chest just to show off some hamstring separation here. Here, and then scoot back. Okay. All right, last thing on the agenda, it's gonna be just some average leg day stretches I've done in the past. Maybe I'll show you all again in the future, and then cut the outro. So see you in the car. So that concludes leg day. I know I discussed earlier about incorporating a hack squat as a substitute to a squat. That being said, this Planet Fitness, I did not account for the fact that they did not even have a hack squat. So that being said, we didn't do a compound squat today. I'm going to make up for that next leg day by just doing some extra sets of squat. So I'm gonna chalk that up to, you know, to grow the muscle, you gotta shock the muscle. So I'm thinking normally I do 3 to 4 sets of a compound squat. Next leg day, it'll be probably closer to 6. And I'll do some sort of pyramid set, either on a mix of free barbell hack squat or just hack squat. Now, this style of training, I'm going to incorporate into the other 2 days of the split, chest, back, and shoulder arms. And the next video, Henry and I have discussed sort of part of our intro, incorporating maybe graphics of each of these lifts so that y'all have a glimpse of each lift prior to, and then at your leisure you can skip ahead to those lifts with ease, I should say. Only thing left on the agenda is more protein. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.